Hello and welcome to One Storyteller. It's been a while. This is our we last week we were not able to record. The week before we weren't able to record because we were both gone at various times. So it's been a while. In other news, we both like the song "Abide with Me," so
It's pretty
that's
great.
cool. That may be the only thing we agree on today.
There's no way.
That-
Come
Maybe
on.
that's not my fault. I'm Reagan.
If we disagree today, you need to apologize to yourself later in life.
I think
Also, I'm Andrew.
when you have Deus Ex Machina coming out to save Aragorn,
That's crazy.
that's a great name.
No, that's so stupid.
That's an incredible name.
Oh,
We'll see. We'll see. It's not as bad as I joke about, but
this is
the Helm's Deep chapter.
it's great.
Yes.
Even though there might be one of those missing, it's a great chapter.
It is interesting.
I think, I think it may be
He may be a little bit sick.
maybe one of the most atmospheric chapters we've yet encountered.
I'm a big Dark Corn fan, personally.
Oh my.
I
also
what was
think-
that other comparison that I pointed out? I forget.
No,
I'm a big Shingle in the Rain fan.
Shingle.
Shingle in the Storm fan. That's what it is. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think you can see how one way you can tell Tolkien did such a good job, like, describing the environment and the movements of this battle is, like, he laid out, like, how the movie would follow, like, portraying this battle, like, pretty precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did a great job capturing what he was describing, and the fortress, although not a perfect adaptation, is, like, pretty close.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
It is to his credit that I know where all the places are and I can tell where they are in any given moment. That is cool. There's some other things I have.
Okay, I guess we'll get
complaints
to them
about.
later.
So the first half of this chapter, Two Towers, Chapter 7, Book 1.
There you go.
Helm's Deep.
That's an introduction.
I'm glad I finally got to it. The first half of this chapter is traveling to Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
The second half of this chapter is defending Helm's Deep, which was kind of unintentional. They definitely did not mean to do it, but oh well. They definitely didn't. Theoden says, "We came out to fight a battle, not to go get ourselves in a siege."
Well, yeah, this wasn't their initial intention.
Yes.
Once they start heading to Helm's Deep, it's like, we're probably going to have to defend this place.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Which they manage it, and it all just kind of happens. In the movies, this is very drawn out because this is the climax of the Two Towers, or it's half of it, right?
Yeah.
In the book, it is not very drawn out,
Nope.
and it's also not the end point for the Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli story. Quite
Yes,
yet.
that's correct.
I guess we'll have to see how that goes, but we'll cover that in the next four chapters. There's still 4 more chapters of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli to go
Yeah.
before we actually get to the other part. So, you like this chapter?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, you can't beat King of the Golden Hall, but this is pretty good. The themes of this chapter are, like, on the nose, even for Tolkien, but this is good. It's good.
Interesting. Point those out to me as we go through.
No, Reagan.
Yep.
Oh, man.
The chapter starts with the army riding out, right? We're picking up from chapter 6, where Theoden declares that he's going to go on an adventure to take out Saruman, basically. So they start riding out to go and fight Saruman. They head north to get there, little in terms of taking breaks. They're rushing to get there. They know that Erkenbrand is like holding the front line, essentially, or he's supposed to be.
Yes, so it is like first couple pages of chapter 7 that there's a weary man with a dented helm,
Yeah.
broken shield who rides back. Um, he's surprised to find Theoden there, but he does tell him, "Hey, was it like a day ago or even just hours ago? A huge force came out of Isengard and threw away the defenses they had at the river.
No.
And Erkenbrand is trying to lead a controlled route, or not.
Retreat.
That's
somewhere.
not how that works. Instead of a route,
Oh,
he's trying
yeah.
to lead a controlled retreat with as many people as he can. That's the first thing we hear about Erkenbrand.
Yes. And Erkenbrand's going back to Helm's Deep,
And that's what he's attempting to do. Yes.
Yeah. theoretically. Apparently, he's not very good at it, but we'll get there at the end of the chapter. So Gandalf does, as they're traveling, he does ask Legolas what he can see. What can your elf eyes see, as they say?
You have the eyes of your fair kindred, Legolas.
To which Legolas says all he can see is a shadow. Because there's something
Ooh.
back there, but it's really covered up by this
It's like it sounds like there's like some magic shadow.
dark forces. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. That's what Saruman does. That's what Sauron does, and so that's what Saruman does.
Yep.
Evil cannot create; it can only destroy or copy other things, copy and twist them. And so, even in Saruman's plan, Saruman, it's noted in this chapter, Saruman has this darkness protruding from his area, which is what Sauron does. Saruman has orcs, which is what Sauron does. Saruman has contracts with evil and twisted human beings, which is what Sauron does. He's not very original at this.
No.
Kind of boring. And so he'll get dealt with, but that'll be in a future chapter. Yes, you have the one man riding out to meet them. He's the one who makes note. There are wild men of the hills who I guess hate Rohan. This is Dunland. I don't even know where Dunland is specifically.
Well, it used to be
North?
where Rohan was.
Oh, okay. That
That's
would
sort
be-
of the main thing of contention.
So Rohan displaced them, or
Long ago, when Gondor was under attack from like Easterlings, I believe,
okay.
and maybe even from Harad back then too. They were about to get overrun, and then randomly, the Rohirrim came down from the north and said, "We'll help you, I guess." And they helped them win the battle. And Gondor's
That's
like,
nice.
"Thanks, guys. Would you like this land?" It was under their jurisdiction, I suppose, and the Dunlandians had just betrayed them or not helped them or something like that.
Unfortunate.
And they still have like now, like I guess Dunland proper is
It looks like,
like,
it's slightly to the north.
west,
Yeah.
kind of north of
Northwest.
Isengard.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a grudge there.
Yeah, they've been called out of the hills to go and reclaim their homeland or something,
Yeah.
and so they're going after it. I guess we will see the human beings pop up because they take part in the siege. In the
Yeah.
movie, it's very much all just orcs
Oh, yeah.
versus man, but in the book, there are a bunch of men there too, which is curious to me.
Okay.
I do think it's interesting that when this one lone soldier approaches them, he blames Éomer for not being there on time and not having enough people, which is true. There are extenuating circumstances, such as he was imprisoned by Wormtongue and such like that, and so it is understandable why Éomer wasn't there. But also, there's a note that it's still Éomer's responsibility to be there. And so, I like that. I think that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think your point still stands,
Mhm.
even when I say this
Yep.
is, it doesn't feel much like blaming. This messenger writer, his message, I think it's more factual than blaming.
It could be,
Yeah.
right?
But
It's
that's neat. thinking
Éomer's
about
the one
Éomer.
addressed.
Yes. Although addressing Aemir and the poor situation as a whole, that's gonna be a pretty big blow to Theoden, right? Because it only would have been Aemir's responsibility. Sorry, I'm phrasing this poorly. It only got to the point where Aemir has this level of responsibility because the king wasn't acting like a king, and even the battle leading up to the battle Erkenbrand has just lost. Is where Theoden's son died without help or support, and this is just round 2 of that.
Yeah. Rip Theodred. He seems like a cool guy.
I bet he was.
He used to be. Unfortunate. But Theoden, having abandoned his leadership and making himself less capable, led to the death of his son, which led to the fall of his people on the northern bank, at least. And so there's a reason when he steps up to take responsibility for the situation, he says he's here. The soldier instantly says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that."
Yeah, that's a good point.
But Theoden doesn't rebuke him at all for that. He just accepts it and moves on.
I think that's something we saw previously with Theoden. Is he received the wake up call?
Yeah,
he's going to try to remember how he needs to act now.
Yeah, he likes to fix the error of his ways, which is good. So they do hear news that Erkenbrand has gone straight to Helm's Deep, apparently, with his forces, or at least that was the plan.
Yep.
The Theoden decides to pursue him and to also go to Helm's Deep. If the northern bank has truly been overrun by massive amounts of Saruman's forces, there's no way that the little host from Edoras is going to do anything against them. And so better to go seek shelter and go and try to regroup with the rest of your army, I guess. Eomer is captain of the Eastfold.
Yes.
And so he's got his force with him. And I forgot the other guy's name. Erkenbrand is captain of the Westfold, and he's got his force with him. So these are, I guess, the 2 branches of the army, or 2 out of the 3.
Yeah, I meant to double check that. It's either 2 out of the 2 or 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
I feel like there is another group that we're not accounting for, but
either way, twice the number of horsemen is good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So better to regroup there and then be at Helm's Deep for safety, and then you go out from there. Gandalf leaves.
Yep.
He says, "I've got important things to do."
Yeah, and he's actually the one who tells Theoden to go to Helm's Deep.
Yes.
Theoden was ready to ride to the fords, like straight there. And Gandalf says, "Go to Helm's Deep instead."
Is it? Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's true. I thought it was that. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's not too different a plan, but I think Gandalf's is a bit more pragmatic.
Yeah. Theoden is convinced he wants to go have a battle, and Gandalf says, "Go to Helm's Deep." Right, you'll have a battle anyway, but
yeah,
at least you might survive that one instead of going out on the plains and just dying. That's probably not a good plan. Gandalf does up and leave. I don't really like how Gandalf doesn't explain himself, but
Yeah, I mean, as we'll see in the subsequent chapters, and even a little bit at the end of this one, he didn't have much time at all. And it is in his established personality, to just be like,
"It is.
I don't have time to talk about this. Just trust me."
It's my second least favorite thing about him.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Understand what he does, or understand that I don't like it?
I can understand your frustration.
Good. Some of Rohan is frustrated with him as well.
Yes.
Quite a lot of Rohan.
So Tolkien he makes this like a pretty important like narrative instrument. So I really like that, even though it seems a bit silly that maybe Gandalf wouldn't take a minute to explain. I can swallow that the later explanations and stuff, and it works really well in this chapter.
What specifically works really well? Like the
I guess
distrust
we'll
of.
see it as we keep going through, but their hope really depends on the return of Gandalf. They don't know exactly what's coming. They know when he said he'd come, but we'll see. Well, it's just in the next little paragraph. Hama, the door warden from the previous chapter, is talking to another guard.
Yes.
And one of them's like, "What does that mean? That Gandalf just rode off by himself?" And Hama says that Gandalf Greyheim has need of haste. Ever he goes and comes unlooked for. The other guy says, "Wormtongue, were he here, would not find it hard to explain." Hama says, "I'm going to wait to see Gandalf again." And the other guy says, "Maybe you will wait a long time."
Yeah. Yeah, Gandalf does not say when he's coming back.
Does he not?
Nope, he just says, "I got an errand to run."
No, okay.
So that is kind of left nebulous.
Okay, no, that's a good point. Missed that.
And so there's a hope that it will be soon, but there's zero assurance that it will be soon, especially because they have no idea what he's going for.
Yes.
So I appreciate Hama for having the faith to trust anyway, and clearly that is the right answer.
Yeah.
But much like God, who is not beholden to explain himself to human beings, and he just kind of does stuff sometimes, and I kind of wish it was explained, Gandalf does the same thing.
Yeah, I think that is the parallel Tolkien is kind of creating here.
Yeah. A little bit forced, but
a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh well, it does make sense because Gandalf does this all the time. So they start heading to Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Instead, they reroute from the northern path and go to the west. Something they go in a direction.
No, you got it right. Good job.
Excellent. I knew it. So Helm's Deep is
maybe a bit south too, but
it's a big fortress.
Yes.
It's named after an ancient hero who took shelter there one time, and it was really cool.
Well, let me push my you guys can't see this, but you should appreciate I'm pushing my glasses up right now.
He is pushing
Well,
his glasses
actually,
up.
The castle is called the Hornburg. Helm's Deep is just the valley that just kind of carves itself into the mountains.
So Helm's Deep is a cool castle. Yes. So the Hornburg is specifically like the whole fortress area? Is that what it is? There's a Hornburg.
I'm pretty sure.
There's a Horn Rock.
Yes.
There's a Helm Gate. There's a Helm Dike. There's a Helm Deep.
Yes.
Most of them are irrelevant except for the big fortress.
As they're heading to the fortress, they do pass by Helm's Dike, which is like an outwall.
Yeah.
Which is still like a pretty significant wall. Not connected to the fortress at all.
No.
But kind of going from one end of the chasm to the other.
Yeah. Just to the top of the valley. Just to help it.
Yeah.
That does, yes, that makes sense. And they will kill some orcs out there in a little bit. Kind of off screen. They just say, "We killed some orcs there," and then they leave.
Yeah.
Not to be long-term held.
At least not in this situation. Yeah.
No. But they do go. There's an explanatory section about Helm's Deep and all the associated different areas they're in.
They actually, it's interesting. They say this fortress is also built by Gondor.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. The Sea Kings, which I guess is that Numenor?
Yeah.
Okay. So Numenor and some giants built this thing, and then Rohan ended up co-opting it and using it pretty well. So that's cool. That's just in there. It's like, oh, excellent. This is where Erkenbrand lives now. I guess these are like his headquarters.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I read it, it sounds like he's there right now, but he's not.
Yeah, everything else eliminates that possibility.
Yeah, because he's kind of missing. So they send out, as they're right? You have your explanatory couple of paragraphs on what Helm's Deep looks like and how it fits together. And then you hop back to the actual characters, and Theoden is sending out scouts, to which they say, we don't know where Erkenbrand is.
Mm-hmm.
We found a lot of dead guys in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like some people have made it back, but
Yeah, so
a lot of the force is
Erkenbrand
missing.
been trying to do that controlled retreat.
Yes.
Looks like that kind of fell apart.
Yes.
Because you have what they say. There's been bands of soldiers all over the place, most of them trying to get back to Helm's Deep, but getting overridden by wolves and orcs.
Yeah.
They also say not only have they seen their friends and enemies running around with their like chickens with their heads cut off, they've also seen 2 significant riders. One of them being Gandalf, who's going around trying to sort of encourage and get everyone running back to Helm's Deep with a bit more urgency.
Potentially. Yeah.
And then there's also Wormtongue, who met up with some orcs and is heading back to Isengard.
Yes. Yeah, the writer is never technically identified as Gandalf. Some
Oh.
people think he's Gandalf, some think he's Saruman.
Oops.
I think it makes more sense that he would be
Many
Gandalf.
have seen an old man in white upon a horse, passing like a wind in the grass.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Gandalf.
Probably.
Some thought it was Saruman, to your point.
Yeah. But and then he goes towards Isengard in the evening. So
Okay.
some people are suspicious. I assume it's Gandalf.
It's Gandalf.
But then also, how on earth does he have so much time to figure all this stuff out?
There's, you'll see in like two or 3 chapters.
Eventually.
It's sort of funny, but
Okay.
this is one of the things he wanted to do.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess.
I said funny. It is kind of funny, but it's also cool.
Yeah, it would be odd for Gandalf to. It sounds like he's going a different direction than they were.
Yeah, well, he's kind of running into the teeth of the enemy, even though it's not a huge organized force at this point.
Yes, but the problem is if he's going a different direction than they are, how does he end up in front of them? And why does it not just say he goes ahead of them instead?
He can
whatever.
pivot.
He's very quick, I guess.
He is.
Shadowfax is very fast. Basically, the point being, Gandalf there? ? But he's not at the Helm's Deep. He's doing something else. Even if he has helped to rally some of the soldiers, he's missing. His personal presence is not there, and that is somewhat worrying.
Yeah.
There are pictures all throughout this section of Saruman's army, which is a quite large army. And so Theoden starts to say, and Éomer especially, Helm's Deep will be good for our defenses.
Yep.
But that's about it. I don't know how long that's actually going to last. They start riding towards the citadel, the fortress, whatever you want to call it. Theoden has orcs between him and Helm's Deep, but the orcs keep getting out of their way.
Yeah. Because it's not the main force. It's like these little groups that were pursuing the running Rohirrim. So when they see the big army, they are able to just turn out of the way.
They are cowards. It says this is a really weird statement. It's on page 144 in my book. Aragorn and Legolas went now with Éomer in the van.
Oh.
And that statement, out of context or even in context, is a really weird picture.
Oh, do you know what the van is?
I assume it's like a Toyota.
Oh no, man!
I assume like
I'm
Caravan.
I'm so
The Vanguard.
I'm so conditioned.
Maybe.
Yeah, not Caravan, but it would be like Vanguard. They're up in the front.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. When I read it, I was like, Volkswagen bus or
Bro,
my
that would be
mom's
so funny.
Toyota. And I was like, well, this is a very weird statement. So I specifically noted that down.
I wonder
That's just
who
a me
they
problem.
relegated to the back seat.
Gimli's not there with them,
Oh.
as far as I know. Unless, I guess Gimli would still be riding with Éomer,
I think that's right.
but he's not specifically mentioned for whatever
They
reason.
probably put Legolas and Gimli in the back seat,
Not Legolas. Legolas has his own horse.
but they're all in the same van.
That's true.
No.
That's true. We would all be putting Legolas in the back seat. Let's be honest. Hate that guy. Basically, they ride to Helm's Deep without any issue. Erkenbrand has left a bunch of his people there.
Yes.
He himself is not there,
Yeah.
and it looks like his army has died. Maybe.
Died, missing, retreating.
Yes.
It
They're
hasn't.
not.
It's
dead.
only been a
They're-
couple hours,
No.
but no one's sure what's going on.
Yes, which I'm not really sure even how that technically works.
It does feel maybe a little fast.
Yeah, or it's just a little forced, because like if you are retreating, you're not going to take a massive detour out into the plains. You're going
No.
to go straight for the fortress.
Well,
So the fact that some of his soldiers have made it and most of his forces just off missing somewhere is confusing, unless there's something else that I don't know about.
yeah. Well, two explanations at this point are
Ooh.
they're dead,
Yes.
or this retreating effort would be slower than people just turning and running. And that's true, especially if it's a fighting retreat too. That's just not something you can do quickly.
Yes.
That feels like a reasonable explanation to me.
Maybe. If that's the case, how are like thinking logistically through this is a nightmare. If that's the case, the orcs are coming down from
From
Isengard.
Yeah.
The ford was being defended by Erkenbrand and his soldiers,
Yes.
so they were at the front line there. They were driven off of the ford, so theoretically they would just come straight back to Helm's Deep, which is the same path that the orcs would take, coming straight to Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
But Erkenbrand has not decided to take that path. He's just taken, I guess, a different path, or he
Yeah.
hasn't
Well,
come
it's
back
not
for
like there's
whatever
just like
reason.
one road.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a more direct route you could kind of get shunted off of, or like it is like a pretty direct path there,
Mm-hmm.
but like the world's a big place. You don't have to like step on people's toes when you're heading from one fortress miles away to another fortress miles away.
Yes, but the point being,
Yes.
Erkenbrand is on horses. The orcs are not.
I don't know if he is actually, because they were part of this river garrison.
Is he not? Are they just walking? Hold on. We
They-
got to check the end of the chapter where Erkenbrand shows
Oh,
up. Oh,
well-
1,000 men on foot. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Erkenbrand is walking.
Yes.
Orcs are also
Okay.
walking.
Sorry, I didn't even
Um,
mention that. I thought, yeah,
no.
I'm pretty sure he's walking.
No, you're right. You're right. But Erkenbrand theoretically would take the straightest possible route to get back to a fortress
Ideally, right?
if he's retreating. Which means either the orcs are following him and have gotten to the fortress before him, which means he went somewhere else instead of going back to his fortress, or it means the orcs have walked around him, which means taking a somewhat substantially longer route, and yet they're still getting to the fortress before him. And I don't really think either of those make sense.
Yeah, I sort of imagine he's shunted off to the side in an effort to preserve the lives of his men.
Yes. That just feels kind of weird.
I think that feels like that could happen.
It could. It could. Wouldn't they, if they were shunted off to the side, wouldn't the opposing force also, part of the opposing force, break off and follow them and keep on chasing?
I'm sure they did.
Is that ever addressed?
It might be.
Okay. I guess we'll reserve judgment on Helm's
No,
Deep as a
but-
chapter
well,
for
this-
3 chapters.
No. But it was I think it was in chapter 5, maybe in chapter 6. I think chapter 5. Gandalf says Saruman is afraid Theoden might have the ring because of where the ring
Yes.
disappeared from. So he is rushing his attack. Isengard is empty.
True.
He's trying to siege down a fortress in one night
Mm-hmm.
because he just wants to destroy these people as fast as possible and get the ring before before Sauron tries to get it or anything like that.
Okay.
He's scared of Theoden and Sauron. So he doesn't think Erkenbrand has the ring, right? So it makes sense. He's kind of willing to pass him up to try to destroy their fortresses and then move on toward Edoras.
Okay.
So that's pretty
I could buy
clearly
that.
his plan. Yeah.
So
also,
Erkenbrand just lost the road at some point, and the orcs didn't follow, so he kept going.
I think that's probably something like that.
That can make sense.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that explanation.
Beans.
Minorly. Yeah. I guess that is an interesting comparison between Saruman and Erkenbrand then as well, because Erkenbrand left a garrison at Helm's Deep and Saruman did not.
Yes.
Which is why Helm's Deep stands and which is why Orthanc doesn't.
That is correct,
I
yeah.
suppose. Curious.
Mhm.
If you are a righteous and good person, always leave somebody at your house to take care of it.
You know?
Or something. Maybe that's why people have dogs.
Maybe.
Okay. Legolas doesn't like Helm's Deep.
No.
Gimli likes Helm's Deep.
Yeah. And Gimli says the thing Legolas said to him about wait. I phrased this backwards.
The what?
When they first come upon Fangorn, Legolas says, "This is great." And Gimli's like, "Yeah, you would think that. You're an elf, and elves are weird." And at Helm's Deep, Gimli says, "This is great." And Legolas says, "Yeah, you would think that. You're a dwarf. Dwarves are weird." It's
Fair
just
enough.
funny.
Good for him. What follows is and right around there, you also get explanations of the dimensions of the wall and how
Oh, yes,
big
yes.
the wall are, all these different sorts of things. It's nice that the miniatures had such a descriptive process in Tolkien's writing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. That's good for them. And so it's at this point that the assault begins. We're basically in the second half of the chapter. Orcs are there.
Many of them.
It seems more like
Illuminated by lightning. Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, they were illuminated by torches, and then a bunch of them got shot out by the dike, and so they stopped carrying the torches.
Yes. We didn't mention
kinda
Gamling, but he's the
happens.
old guy who was guarding the dike.
Yeah.
Like one of Erkenbrand's captains, it seems.
For him, I like Gambling.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He's a cool guy. There are 1,000 people in the fortress. There are however many people Theoden has taken with him, and they're going to hole up in the castle there. Castle is not the right word. but
Yeah. I think
in the deep,
Theoden also just has like the quick force of 1,000 people.
something like that.
I think that's right.
It's a nice round number. The orcs come in, and there are a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
The main the main people who cause changes seem to be the humans, at least at first. The humans are the ones who are running the battering ram,
Yes.
which is, I guess, odd to me.
Yeah.
Why are the humans doing that, not the orcs?
Well, this is one of the main portrayal differences. It doesn't
Mhm.
really matter too much. But Tolkien, his orcs have always been pretty short compared to humans. The Uruk-hai are bigger, but the biggest ones are always described as like almost man height.
Yeah.
So even the largest, scariest orcs are shorter than people. So you want strong, big guys on a battering ram, you know. So that's probably
enough.
why.
Curious. Human beings, bad human beings, run the battering ram to break down the gate.
Yeah.
Orcs are there to support, and orcs are like the archers going up against the walls.
Mm-hmm.
I assume
But
orcs are most of the grapplers at later points with the ladders and such.
Maybe so.
Um,
I think it's a lot more mixed than like, well, the movie obviously is all
Mhm.
orcs. Here, I think it's like probably a pretty even amount, like maybe half human, half orc sort of
Yeah.
thing.
So the battering ram, they cover it with like a Roman tortoise,
Yeah.
which is cool. Of course, everybody uses that strategy. It's a good strategy.
Don't get shot in the head. Let me cover my head with a shield.
Yes, the good guys can't defend against that. Like they can't do anything to break down the the battering ram forces, even though apparently they have large rocks on the top of the wall.
In some places, you only have so many large rocks, and
Apparently.
a siege makes you realize how few large rocks you have.
You would think you would position a large rock or maybe multiple.
I'm
right
sure
in
they
front of the
did,
gate.
right? Because the part that you are sort of skipping over to get to your complaint, it says they forced the battering ram back like 2 or 3 times, but is always getting closer and closer. Like on each like return visit, it got closer and closer to the gate.
Fair enough. They missed with the large rocks.
Well, they probably hit a couple times at
Only
first.
they had Deus Ex Rachina with them.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
they would win. Yes. Yes, there is some amount of defense against the attack, but when you have 20,000 people or however many it is versus 2,000, you kind of get overburdened at some
You run
point.
out of large rocks.
That is very unfortunate. It's a good thing that they had one in reserve for
They do
later
have
on.
one in reserve.
Well, at a very specific point. I guess that'll come up later. So the solution to this is, because they can't attack them from, above with the rocks, they attack them from the side. There is a gate there's a little door built into
Not a gate, just a little door.
built into the side of the fortress, and it goes out to a narrow path to which you can then make it to the main pathway, like the main causeway,
Indeed.
and then kill the bad guys. So Aragorn and Éomer and all of their, or several of their other men with them, go out and mess up the orc battering ram position, which is good. In the movie, this is Gimli and Aragorn who do this. Gimli is also there in the book at the end. But, he's a spoiler. He's not there, actually. Nobody knows where Gimli is. He's too short to be accounted for. Problem with this. Why would you build a door in the side of your fortress?
Now, I'm not a castle expert, but it seems like accurate from other sorts of fortresses. If you can have like a door to have small amounts of people come in and out of in a safe place, like why not do that? It would be absurdly easy to defend. You have to like shimmy over, along the wall by the cleft, by the drop into the deep. So it's easy to like go out and leave that
because there's just a narrow pathway there.
Yes.
Okay, right. But if the pathway is narrow, then that makes it really impractical to use ever.
Yes.
So there would be no reason to have a door.
Just in case.
Just in case of this one instance where the main fortress is being
and you don't get the
attacked.
sense that like it's an obvious door either. It's kind of around the bend of the fortress.
Yes. So it is a sneaky door.
It's a sneaky and very defensible door.
It is.
It is.
No.
It is.
Fortress theory is very simple, which is do not make any weak points in the fortress, of which Helm's Deep has 2, which is not good on 2 counts. This is one of them, the door. You don't make a little door in your fortress. Don't do that. It is practical to the extent of you can open that to let one person in instead of opening the whole gate and the portcullis and everything like that. If that's if all of that is involved in opening, sure, that makes sense. But that significantly weakens your fortress because now there are 2 points of entry instead of 1.
No.
And so that doesn't
they obviously thought
work for me.
The benefits outweigh the negatives.
Yes. The question is, right, if this is, it is very defensible, especially if the ledge is very narrow and someone cannot really walk along the ledge. But if the ledge is very narrow and someone cannot really walk along it, then that makes it very difficult for you to actually get out. And the odds are Aragorn would step out and start shimmying along the ledge. He would be seen and then shot, and then that's it. And that just doesn't happen.
It's not a no-risk option.
No.
You get the sense it's probably more for not when people are actively on the other side.
Yes.
But we're spending a bit too much time on this probably. But when people are slamming a battering ram against a gate,
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard to hear someone shimmying over a wall or along a wall. It's hard to see them in the dark, especially when you're focused on slamming the gate with a battering ram.
True, but there's also there's a small section of the population, of the enemy population, that is actually using the battering ram, and all the rest of them are like sitting on the edges waiting to get inside. So
I maybe this seems strange to you,
could work.
This part seems just fine to me.
Don't think that's how you would design a fortress. Also, the other thing that does throw me off is in all of the detailed description of the different walls and gate systems earlier, this side gate is like, by the way, we have a side gate, and then Aragorn just uses it and everything works out fine. And so it does seem like, it almost seems like, oh, I need a solution for that. Let me put that in, which I'm sure it wasn't.
I'm sure that's...
But
no,
it's very odd positioning wise, since it's not with the other descriptions. I don't really understand.
You can understand that he's trying to paint like a broader picture earlier.
Yes,
and not going to go into every minute detail. Maybe Helm's Deep has lots of doors like this. You know?
Oh yes, my favorite.
Probably not, but
hopefully not.
Here we are. They go out. They shimmy along the narrow path.
Yes,
they
works.
Cry out the names of their swords, and these two men, with a small contingent, I believe, right?
Yes.
Are able to force back the rammers.
Yeah. Yes. So it works. It works. Guthwine is a great word for a sword. I just feel like I have to say that.
Saxon.
And then the Aragorn and Éomer are the leaders there. They inspire the men, and it's a great thing. The main gate is saved, and then they come back inside. I feel like in the movie's depiction of this, because the movie also has a small door, which also doesn't make sense, but at least there is a gap in between the main causeway and the door is a little it's a little path down into the valley. They're the split in front of them. I forget what the term for that is. Instead of being
like a chasm, pit,
right? It's a walk down instead of a walk right across onto the bridge. That makes sense to me. Yeah. That makes more sense. It's still a door on the side of your fortress, which you shouldn't have.
Well, normally you wouldn't be able to walk to your doors.
Yes, but you shouldn't have a door there. Okay. Anyway, that's one complaint about the structural integrity of Numenorian buildings. Maybe they just didn't
this
think
was
about
standard practice.
I think it's funny that the orcs have a possum tendency built in where they go to leave.
They were plotting.
The good guys go to leave, and then a dozen orcs just get up because they weren't actually dead.
They're afraid. Yeah. Remember in Moria, they outnumbered these guys significantly, but Boromir and Aragorn are able to just wipe the floor with them.
Yeah. Well, every time it says orcs, I assume it means the Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
That's right?
I reckon so.
Okay. Well, the orcs in Moria were not the Uruk-hai.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're a step up from those orcs, but they're still orcs.
Yeah. Still wimps. Still terrible. I just think it's funny that a dozen of them had the same plan at the same time.
Well, probably one of them makes sense. Hey guys, we're gonna die if we don't pretend to be dead. And then okay. And then the rest of them listen to him. That's probably what happened.
Just a row of orcs just hanging out.
And they dastardly seize an opportunity to attack these valiant heroes from behind.
Yeah. Grab them by the foot.
Yeah.
They bruise Éomer's heel.
This is the first time someone gets grabbed by the foot.
Are there multiple?
There's another time in the chapter, yeah.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right. With the rock.
With the rock.
I love that guy.
But Gimli.
Maybe Tolkien had a weird thing for feet because the Watcher in the water grabbed Frodo by the ankle.
If you're short and you're going after someone who's running away, that's the best place to grab somebody.
That's true. I guess if you're just on the ground, it's
my
the best
goodness.
I just wanted to say it. I
That's
thought it
terrible.
was fun. Everybody gets back inside. Okay.
Yeah, Gimli is able to cut down these foes who are more his size.
Yes.
Rescue Amer's life.
Yes. And Gimli did say, I was going to join you guys, but then the human beings were too tall for me.
Yes.
So I'm glad that the short ones came up. So that does make sense of the earlier thing that humans are working the thing, the battering ram, whatever that is.
Yes.
It's at this point, as they get back inside, variously, combat still continues on for however long. They're just orcs inside of the wall now, because Helm's Deep has a structural integrity weakness.
We'll have to cover this a little bit more quickly. I can understand your exasperation.
Yes.
The river's got to go somewhere.
Yes.
You wish there was a grate.
Yes.
It would be great if there was a grate.
Yes.
There's not.
It would be really easy for them to be a great. At least, so there's a weakness in the wall.
Yes.
Kind of like the movies show it. There is a.
Although I think it's probably better than the movie. That lacks the grate, but it's lifted up above. Like the orcs can only get up here by making a sort of dangerous climb.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So if you have guys there, which they normally did, it'd be pretty easy to defend that.
Yeah.
But the orcs have climbed up while people were distracted.
Yeah. There is basically just a hole in the wall.
Yes.
There's a waterfall inside of Helm's Deep, the fortress,
there's like
coming out of the mountain,
I think
or a
it's
stream
more,
of some sort.
It's more like a wadi than a river.
Yeah.
I don't think it flows all the time.
A source of mountain water that, at least sometimes, flows.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
The solution, because Helm's Deep would just pool the water, which is not good, is you cut something in the front of the fortress to allow the water to drain. Great idea. You can do that at multiple points in the front of the fortress, multiple small points instead of one large point. But instead, they've cut basically a man-sized hole in the rock to allow water to drain out, which is not something you do in a fortress, at least not without a grate in it.
And Tolkien really doesn't do much with this, so it sort of seems strange.
Yeah,
I'm on board for the door. Hey, let's add tons of doors, but this seems a little silly.
Yeah,
but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean the orcs get in there, and then immediately get killed.
And Gimli leapt from the wall. Wow.
Yeah.
And he raises the alarm. The humans lean into dwarf stereotypes and say, "Hey, can you help us put rocks in this gap?"
Yes. To which they put a bunch of rocks in the gap, which stops up the water and starts flooding the courtyard a little bit. But, oh well. Better that than, being overrun by orcs by having a hole in the front of your wall. But it's okay, because immediately after this, the wall gets blown up. And so,
Yep.
It was all kind of a moot point. I
understand.
Whatever. You planted a bomb where the human being shape goes, and then you just light it up.
Mm-hmm. No one knows what they're doing.
No.
No one is as smart as you, Reagan.
No. Building this fortress was not the strong suit of the Númenóreans, I don't think. They made two fundamental errors, one of which ended up being an actual error.
They made one fundamental error. One of them that ended up being a minor inconvenience.
That ended up... I mean, if your wall gets blown up, that's pretty bad.
Wait, what are the two inconveniences then?
The culvert and the door.
Okay, but the bomb didn't have anything to do with either of those things.
Went in the culvert, I assume.
Nope.
I assume so. There's a big explosion, and then the stream goes a lot faster.
Oh.
And so I assume it's right.
You are correct.
They covered up the culvert with a bunch of rocks, which then shielded the culvert. So they snuck a bomb in there, essentially a bomb.
You got it.
And then lit it up.
I missed that part. This read through. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just not a great plan. I understand there has to be a water drainage system, but that was not the way to do it structurally. Anyway,
Well, here, there's a lot of neat things. I think he does a
Yes.
good job. We're sort of belaboring some of these points, but you get a good sense of the movements of the battle,
yes.
which is why we're able to and sort of excited to follow the to's and fro's. But it's right after the little bomb chaos. Or, no,
It's right before.
right below the little bomb chaos.
Yes.
You have one of the first very on the nose hope things you wanted me to point out.
Yep.
Aragorn is looking up at, there's a little bit of a respite in the midst of the battle. It's like, man, this is a long night.
Yeah.
I'm really tired. Don't know where Gandalf is or Erkenbrand. We're totally outnumbered. Gamling says, Dawn's not far off, but I don't think Dawn will help us. He notices the truth that they're fighting lots of men who are fine fighting the sunlight. They're fighting a lot of these Urukai and half-goblins, which are horrifying and also don't mind fighting in the sunlight.
Mhm.
But Aragorn says, Dawn is ever the hope of men.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of another chilling part to this. Like, it seems like both sides are kind of resting, and the Dunlendings are shouting out, like, we're going to kill you, we're going to murder you, and kill your king, steal your land, and all that. And
they call them straw heads.
yes, Aragorn says, day will bring hope to me. Let us defend it and hope.
Mm-hmm.
And this is cool. This time when I've been reading through, I've been much more attuned to Aragorn. He just got his hope back a little bit ago when Gandalf showed up.
Yeah.
And now he's not eager to let that go. Even though it sort of looks like he's in the same position before. Like, well, where's Gandalf?
Mm-hmm.
But Gandalf has returned from circumstances even more bleak than this. So he is kind of like Hama, right?
Yeah.
He trusts, hey, Gandalf's going to return. And even beyond that, like, Tolkien doesn't really make a big deal out of this, right? But Aragorn knows the legends of the Valar, and he knows Gandalf. I'm pretty sure he knows Gandalf comes from beyond the sea, right?
Yes.
So it's also part of a larger faith and hope as well. So it's not like very complicated.
No.
But it's a good point. Like, here they are. It's a storm. There's also tons of monsters trying to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There are these people who are sort of occupying the place Aragorn formerly did, which is, I don't know how much hope there is. I guess we'll fight.
Yeah.
I guess we'll do our best. But after they repel the explosion invasion, Legolas says, things are going ill, but not yet hopeless, at least while we have you with us. So Aragorn, that's just a cool statement about the wonderful contagiousness of hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes a big difference if you have someone you trust who hasn't given up hope.
Yeah.
You can get by without hope, as we saw earlier in the book, and that was a really important point.
Yeah.
But Tolkien's pretty clear. Hope is superior, especially when you have something legit to anchor it on.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like Aragorn himself is hope, even though he isn't recognizing it. He's looking to Gandalf, but everybody else is looking to him.
Yeah.
And he's become his own. He's become a little anchor for everybody else to follow after, even though Gandalf is gone. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He is as much as Gandalf is the true hope, well, Aragorn, in reflecting the hope of Gandalf, becomes the hope himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a phrase trotting around Christianity a while ago, which was "be the moon." I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, I think I did.
Every now and then. The point being, you are not the hope. You are not going to really fix anything, but God is, and our job is just to reflect God. And in so doing, we have a little bit of light ourselves. Like the moon has no light, but the sun, it reflects the light of the sun or something
Mhm.
like that. Boom. It's kind of very similar to the Christian way of doing things.
Absolutely.
That's what Aragorn's doing.
Mhm.
I like Aragorn.
Yes.
He also trips coming up some stairs because he's tired.
Did I miss that? I did.
That's right before the
yeah.
Legolas statement.
Oh.
So just a funny bit I have to point out.
Okay.
Aragorn walks up the stairs. He falls over because, very tired. That's what happens when you ride all day and then have to fight all night. And Legolas only has one arrow, so he can't save Aragorn, except there is a great boulder that falls off the wall. It's cast from the outer wall by somebody, I guess. And it happens to take out all of the orcs after Aragorn,
But not Aragorn.
It's
like, that's
Thus,
a well-cast stone.
Deus Ex Machina.
There.
A great title for a great rock.
You're
Incredible.
right. That is a pretty good pun.
It's
and an expertly
fantastic.
aimed stone. And it must.
Do you think I should call the rock in Daniel 2 Deus Ex Machina?
Yes.
I think I
Yeah,
will.
that's good.
I need to write that in my
That's
sermon
terrible.
notes. I know. Oh, that's bad.
But maybe it was Gamling or Hama who threw the rock.
Yeah, we never get confirmation.
No, which is sort of funny. But
I'm-
there's some expert stone thrower who just saved Aragorn.
He's just there. I'm glad Aragorn got out okay. So Aragorn meets up with Theoden, and this is another one of those hope.
Yeah. Well, let
Sections.
me interrupt you quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because with the explosion, you see like a weakness of the fortress is
Yes.
if enemies get this far, the caves aren't connected to like the Hornburg's keep.
Yeah.
Its strongest defenses. And the caves are where a lot of people are. That's where the civilians have ended up retreating.
There are civilians in this place the whole time.
I think some of them were there before, because like Brand's like, we're at war, and definitely recently they're like, it's not safe. We should hide here.
Yeah.
Because their works are burning and everything. But anyway, Éomer and Gimli end up either dying or fleeing to the caves
They're
with
not
people.
dead. Ain't no way.
Yeah. And there's another little hope bit there too.
With Theoden.
With Gimli.
Oh.
Legolas is like,
that we
I hope
that
he's alive.
Yeah.
And Aragorn's like, yeah,
There
we
is
gotta-
always hope.
that must be our hope. No, not really anything much worth noting, adding to the theme Tolkien's leading us through, but just a little bit there.
Yeah, and when Theoden, right, they go into the conversation immediately with Theoden, and Theoden, has hope in the fortress, the Hornburg, because the whole big deal with the Hornburg is that it's never fallen before. Like
Never been
humans have
captured
always
while
won.
men defend it.
Yeah, which may or may not be true anymore, and Theoden starts to lose his hope in that.
Mm-hmm.
To which Aragorn says, don't judge what Gandalf said until everything's over, right?
Yes.
Stop putting your hope in this fortress because it's not going to fix everything. It's not even built that great. There are a couple structural integrity issues, but you can put your hope in the guy who is theoretically, hopefully coming.
Yeah.
And so he's looking forward to Gandalf. It is fair for Theoden to doubt Gandalf, but it's also fair for Aragorn to hold off judgment, and it ends up being that Aragorn is right.
Yeah.
So it's another one of those God comparisons.
Yeah.
with
And the
Gandalf.
difference is, like, Aragorn has seen in a much fuller way how Gandalf is able to come through in the end.
Yeah.
Theoden is still warming up to this.
Yeah. I mean, the Rohan title for Gandalf is the Stormcrow who brings all the problems.
Yes.
And even though some of that was inspired by Wormtongue, it
wasn't
was
just,
based on something that Theoden felt. So, not surprising
That's
to
probably
see that.
so.
So, two last things in the chapter.
Oh, I have one more thing for
Go
this,
ahead.
actually.
Go ahead.
It's, there's a couple good things here that we need to talk about. Theoden also says, I fret in this prison. So he's fairly confident in this castle, but also he really wishes he was riding before his men upon the field.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that way I could have felt the joy of battle one last time. He had this great plan for what he thought would bring him glory and redemption for all his mistakes. But he's ended up being in this castle instead. And he feels useless and like he can't do anything. And it makes sense you should defend your king, right? Be a pretty big morale loss. But he wants to lead his men. He doesn't want to just be stuck in this fortress. This isn't the kind of battle he wants to be in, or the position he wants to be in a battle.
He will end up getting the battle.
He will later.
Eventually.
There's this sort of... There's so many neat things about, like, prayer and waiting in this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And even expectations with this section of Theoden.
Yeah.
He's going to get what he wants before the end. But not when he expected it.
Yeah.
I think that's...
And not how he expected it.
Yeah. I think that's pretty thought-provoking.
Yeah. He is... I guess he was looking forward to riding to the rescue of Erkenbrand, and instead he ends up being rescued by Erkenbrand.
Yes,
even though
he's able
to save a few people in the caves, but that's kind of
well,
about it.
They needed to be here, like that's for sure.
Yeah,
but it's not something Theoden really enjoys.
No.
Yeah, I think that's really, really interesting.
Curious.
And he also says, it's said the Hornburg has never fallen to assault. But now my heart is doubtful. The world changes. All that was once strong now proves unsure. How's any tower going to withstand such numbers, such reckless hate? Had I known that the strength of Isengard was so great, maybe I should not have rashly ridden forth to meet it. And that leads into him saying, I'm not sure if I should have listened to Gandalf. And Aragorn saying, wait till the end to judge the words of Gandalf.
Yeah.
You can see... This is a pretty bleak chapter. Like, the whole battle is at night.
Yeah.
It's raining for a good chunk of it, storming. Isengard has way more men. They have blasting fire and wizardry. So Theoden feels very overwhelmed here. I guess you were sort of touching on this point before.
Well, it's Gandalf's counsel doesn't look very good in the darkness.
No.
As it did in the morning, but just like last chapter, the Golden Hall, everything is dark until Gandalf comes in, and with him there comes light, and there is hope in the light. And that's what Aragorn has, is a hope in the light. Theoden is stuck looking at the current situation, which is all the darkness and which is all the bad stuff happening, such as the wall going up in smoke. That's not very good, but Aragorn is trying to push him to look forward to something instead of just looking around him.
Yeah. And then Theoden, you can see an important change here. Before, when he met despair, and Wormtongue kind of exacerbating that, he just gave up and sat down in a cave.
Yeah.
And he's again in the depths of a dark fortress, but this time he says, even though he has a lot of doubt, he says, let's ride out.
Yeah.
Which I think is a pretty good change.
May as well. Maybe it'll work. Or at least people will sing about it.
It's the classic thing to say back in the day.
Yeah. May as well. There's nothing else for it. It's anything else on that?
Nothing with talking to Theoden.
Okay. Aragorn's press conference.
Yes. Oh my, that's a terrible and wonderful way to describe that.
That's what I started laughing at when I was writing my notes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
The orcs are out in the courtyard area, and Aragorn just kind of he stands up on the wall and is like, "Hey, y'all should give up."
Yeah,
that's his plot. You never know what the dawn brings with it. You might want to run away. And all the orcs laugh at him. And he says, well, I tried. And then he leaves.
Basically. He just repeats what he's been saying throughout the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn brings me hope. And finally, and the orcs are mocking him for it. It's like, what?
Yep.
But then he does say something insane, which is, you better run, or else none of you are going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Which turns out to be true.
Yeah. Very
Um,
good of him.
It's sort of like the culmination of this faith/hope idea.
Yeah. It's interesting to see him extend the possibility of mercy towards his enemies.
Yes.
Just curious, even though it's in a ridiculous situation where, it's obvious he's going to lose. He can't possibly win, but he extends mercy anyway, and then they don't take it, and then they find out that he can possibly win.
Yep.
It's also interesting that, you looking at him, you would think he's the king with zero power, because these aren't even his people that he's defending. These are like some random, the random horse guys from the north, right? And so he's even, when the orcs address him, they say, "Go ahead and bring out your king," right? Go ahead and bring Theoden out. He's the one who's in charge, but Aragorn's the one who takes the lead here, and Aragorn's the one who steps into that command. And so they try to shoot him. It doesn't work, and he leaves.
Yeah.
And then he comes out on a horse later on. Anything else before the final act of the chapter? So
I like reading the final act of the chapter.
Theoden and Aragorn,
It's like a 3-punch combo.
and some other guys ride out to the sound of the horn. They have their own custom soundtrack, which is excellent. And they start killing a bunch of orcs. And then they look on the horizon, and Gandalf is there, and Erkenbrand and 1,000 of his guys are there on foot. And all of the Ents are there too.
No.
No,
It's a forest.
just a forest.
Yes.
Yes. So all of the Ents are there too, I assume.
I see.
It's a magic forest.
The Ents are responsible to some degree, but all we're reading here is there's a forest there where there's not supposed to be a forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is this? I thought it meant just like the Ents were there, because that's how people would see them. Is they think they're just trees.
No, it's not the Ents. There's not that many Ents.
So Gandalf has just summoned a forest.
We'll find out later. That's what everyone says. Yeah.
Okay. And the good guys win.
Yeah. It's great. I like when it's talking about the horn calls being blasted out, because the people start saying Helm is with us, because they start hearing horn calls from around them in the hills. But you find out, that's Erkenbrand and his men are blowing horns in the hills. It's not just the echoes of the horn from Helm's Deep.
Ah,
I think that's pretty cool.
that's curious.
And it's kind of neat foreshadowing. Theoden had wanted, and there's like a little bit of hints of this, when he's charging out of the fortress, he looks a lot like Eorl the Young.
Yeah. That's the guy we heard the song about in chapter 2, right?
Yes.
Or whatever chapter that was.
Yeah, and there's that really cool tapestry in Meduseld.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more so Erkenbrand who's able to live up to the legend.
Yeah.
In this particular battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, the orcs are terrified. They got the cliffs on one side, men on foot, and Gandalf coming down at them from one side, people coming out of the fortress, and this forest that snuck up on them from behind. And they choose the forest. And from that shadow, none ever came.
Rip. I guess they got teleported off somewhere else when the forest left.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
So that's the chapter.
It's great.
It's doing so well up until the last page, and then stuff just resolves, and you're like,
what do you mean?
Huh.
Reagan?
Gandalf, I don't like it when Gandalf just leaves, and then he shows up, and then the problem is solved. And you're like,
he left to solve the problem.
What? Yes, but at that point we didn't even know any of what the problem was, and we didn't know what he was trying to do, and we didn't know when he was trying to do it.
I think that's okay. That was the point. We knew what the problem was, though.
Well, Yeah, just not any of the details of it.
Yeah.
Right. We knew there was a lot of orcs, and so Gandalf's plan was
So
evidently
things will get spelled out more, but
go and find Erkenbrand.
he helped Erkenbrand, gathered a
and
bunch of people,
summon a forest.
and he summoned a forest,
Oh,
which is true to some degree.
not an entire degree, just some.
It's true to some degree. That happens in the movie, remember?
Okay. The forest?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
When?
Here.
No.
At the end of the movie, yeah.
No?
Yeah.
No?
I'm not kidding, man.
I think you are. I
I'm
don't
not,
think you
I'm
remember
not.
the end of Two Towers. Where?
At the end of the movie.
When? What's the setting?
When in the midst of all the climactic stuff, the orcs run into a forest that wasn't there before.
I would have to go back and watch
Yeah,
that
I
last
guess so.
scene, but yeah, I don't.
No,
think
but
that's
they
right.
they do that in the movie too. We can find it here on YouTube after we end our
we
video.
we will see it, I guess. We will.
But
see
anyway, you'll find
it.
out to what degree Gandalf summoned the forest in a
Then
chapter or so.
I will reserve judgment on this chapter for
What?
future
You don't-
explanations.
I'm sort of sad. This is a great ending. It's a great payoff to the kind of message Tolkien was zooming in on in this chapter.
To the kind of message Tolkien is zooming in on, yes. I just don't particularly like the way that that's displayed.
Oh. I guess it makes sense you want some more information.
I'm picky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much
So
to your own chagrin.
either I judge it harshly now, or I reserve judgment for a couple of chapters, and I see
Well,
if it makes sense later on.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for listening to us talk about one of the
Helm
best
Deep.
chapters in the book.
When you build a castle, do not put holes in the wall. The more holes you
I
have in
am
your
a big
wall,
fan of the secret door. That's baller.
I'm glad you like it.
It's a good idea.
The more holes you have in the wall, the less sturdy it is.
That's
Don't do that, generally.
All right. And with that important reminder,
Next chapter.
Yep.
Ooh.
the road to Isengard,
Ah.
which is almost as long as the whole Helm's Deep chapter.
And they're just walking or
Yeah.
riding.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Can't wait for Gandalf to spend 20 pages of conversation again.
No, he doesn't explain anything.
Oh, that's good. Does Saruman? When do I learn about this?
I won't explain anything either.
Bruh. Okay, well, look forward to a couple weeks from now when we actually run into an explanation.